Hi everyone, welcome to Voice of Araha. My name is Rem and I'm here with my lovely co-host Ati. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, Rem. I'm very excited for today's interview.
Yes, I'm so excited as well. And today me and Ati will just be interviewing our wonderful guest here, Demeysa. He's from a refugee background and he has a wonderful, a great online shop, right? Yeah, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Kia ora everyone, my name is Demeysa. I am from Ethiopia. I migrated here in 1998. So I come from a family of 9. So you can imagine the amount of chaos in that house. So I've been in New Zealand for about 20 years now and started my own brand, the Jirtu Wear brand, and it's at the beginning of this year. And so far so good.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome, that's great to hear. And how have you started this?
Actually, to be honest, I have to give credit when credit is due. It's my wife that has kind of really wanted to start her own business, and through researching and trying to find what would work, and we thought let's put a personal touch to it, and came up with the brand Jirtu brand. Jirtu is from the Oromo language. The Oromo people are from Ethiopia. There's over 50 million people who speak the language as well, mainly in East Africa and Ethiopia. And so Jirtu means, are you living? It's just a chicken, are you living? If you're living, then you gotta rock the Jirtu wear. Yeah.
Oh.
That's a very creative name. I love that. So what kind of inspired you to, make this whole idea?
I think the main thing is to be able to provide for your family. That's the main thing. And to ensure that at the same time that you are part of something bigger than yourself. And the main reason why we decided to create this brand is to, first and foremost, to represent our culture and our language and heritage as well. So, and as well as that, I have a dream of, I always say it's a pipe dream, but I'm not going to say that anymore. I have a dream of taking it back to Ethiopia, where I'm from, and to ensure that, they wear quality clothes. I made sure that when I sourced out my suppliers, that the branding as well as the clothes is of high quality. I'm going to show you, I got some merch here with me, and I'm sure you'll vouch for that. If not, we might have to... I'm sure that you'll definitely vouch for that.
Could you talk a bit about the logo on your lovely hoodie?
So the logo here, it's Jirtu. As I said, Jirtu means that you live in. And this here, it's not me. People say, is that your pro? But it's a logo that I got made. And we just thought, the Afro, which is an African thing, and Jirtu, which is the Oromo language, and it just kind of came together. I went through many designs, and at the end, I ended up going with this one.
I see it also have Dasa original on it. If
Dasa, I'm glad you're very good attention to details. What I'm trying to say.
Thank you.
So Dasa is my initials for my first name. Dasa. D is Demeysa. A is for Anissa, my wife. S is for Salsaville, my oldest daughter, and A is for Alina, my youngest daughter. So I had to ensure that we had a personal touch to it as well.
That's so wonderful. How would you say, because there's so many clothing brands, clothing businesses out there, how would you say really differentiate you, uniqueness of yours?
Well, to be honest, as I said, if there is a brand that people should wear, it should be Jirtu Wear, because it's all about the comfort, and it ensures that my dream will not be a pipe dream, to take it back home and to ensure that the people wear in Africa wear quality clothes. And the reason why I say that, mostly in Africa, people get the knockoff stuff that are not really genuine. Some of the clothes that they buy there are donated and whatnot. So access to material as such is not as good. So therefore, taking this back home would mean that people are able to wear high quality clothes and be proud of it, because it represents them. A lot of people, we wear many different things that we don't even know the meaning of, and people I hope know now Jirtu Wear is it just means that you're living, and I hope that everyone gets to see the quality of this clothes and enjoy it as well.
Yeah, that's a great message.
Yeah. So obviously you talked about wanting to take your brand back to Ethiopia and your homeland. I think that's amazing, and I think you'll do it totally.
Yeah.
Where do you see your brand in, like, let's say 10 years?
10 years. I see my brand everywhere. Jirtu Wear everywhere. That's the logo. You know, that's the slogan that we're going with. Thankfully, I've been working on my website with Spot Tech. They've been really helpful. They've truly ensured that, you know, they put great effort in making sure that my website is, you know, top notch and high quality as well, well standard, as they say. And so I'm in the process of finalizing everything with regards to the website. And you got to have an online presence nowadays. Most people don't really go to the stores to buy their stuff. It's mainly online and stuff. So it's a learning curve. Each step is a learning process. And I guess, you know, in hindsight, I'll look back and say I should have done this way and whatnot. But yeah, so far so good. Yeah.
Talking about it being like a learning curve, right? What would you say some of the like, challenges and barriers that you face, especially because you were also talking about like getting high quality material is really difficult. So how do you come about those challenges?
The biggest challenge, I think, is finance. Having the money to ensure that, you know, you have the stock and ensure that, you know, you spend the money that's required, that the quality of clothing, the brand stays at the quality that you want it to stay. And as well as that, I think you don't want to start a business with the idea of making money at the beginning, because no one knows your brand. And the main point for me, for people who are not familiar with my brand, is the quality. People like to wear quality clothes. I'm sure that people pay, you know, if you go to a restaurant, for example, and it's fine dining and the food is amazing, when you pay the money, you don't feel like, damn it, I wasted my money there. You feel like that food was great. And so therefore it was worth it, you know. And I want people to feel the same way when they buy Jirtu Wear as well. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah. What is your advice to someone who, let's say, is wanting to start a small business?
I would say, I don't say I'm a guru and I have any advice per se, but if you have something that you want to start up, it's the living living saying what if all the time is not really ideal. So if you have something in mind and it's your passion and you really want to do it, have a go. And ensure that, you know, you put it out there. And by putting it out there, people will be able to support you as well. So it's only if you put it on the table that you have other ideas put into it, people wanting to support your cause or whatever it is that you want to do as well. And so I guess my advice would be to give it a go. Don't just leave it in the back burner.
Yeah.
So when did you start Jirtu actually?
Jirtu started... to be honest, I don't know exactly, but sometime last year.
Oh, okay, it's quite recent.
Yeah, recently, yeah. So I haven't been in the game for that long, but so it started at sometime last year, last year, yeah.
And then just now, you were also mentioning about like getting the fund to start off, right? Where did you get your fund from, and like how did that come about with like having a startup money?
Yeah. Well, all the money that I've put into the business is my own money that I've put aside. And at the same time, when you have a family, you start to question your decisions when you invest in business, because, like I said, you don't expect to make money from the get-go. It takes time for you to build out the brand and for people to know you as a quality brand first and foremost. And so it was my money that I put into it, and still is my money that I'm putting into it with regards to getting it at the place that I want to. So right now I'm at this position. When you have something in hand, then you can say, this is what I've done so far. Can you please help me? So if you just come with a blank sheet of paper and say, I want to do something, then people don't really know where to help you, where to contribute, you know? So I'm now in the position of, you know, going out, sourcing out funding, getting some sort of support. I don't know how, but, you know, I intend to do that, Yeah.
You talked about like when you're first starting out, really, it's not about the money because no one really knows who you are. And it's all about establishing like a brand. So how did Jirtu establish their brand? What is their personal brand? What are their values that they believe in?
Jirtu Wear as a brand, it's taking. So I want people to make it something creative for themselves. You know, Jirtu Wear is, are you living? Are you living can have many ways. You can look at it so many different ways.
Yeah.
It could be on a mental health day, checking in with people. Are you living? You know, just having. I remember a story. Someone said that. There was an individual walking past him on the street, and this person, he had no idea, he doesn't know him, but he just said, you know, the simple salam, meaning hello to him. And this person, he said to the brother, I was on my way to commit suicide, but the fact that you approached me and said salam to me, it made me forget what I was going to do. You know, sometimes it takes... it's not really something drastic, but something simple as a greeting that will change the course of someone or whatever the mindset of someone. It would shift that as well, you know. And it's all about being genuine in your approach and coming from a place of understanding and love. And I guess I want you to wear something that people are able to love as much as I love it.
So in saying that, because like you also was talking about like bringing it back to where you're from, right? How affordable is like Jirtu?
To be honest, the main thing for me, if I get it back home, it has to be. So the way the sourcing works is the more quantity you order, the less money you pay, because obviously that means that the process. The manufacturers make money in that process as well. The less order you make is the more expensive it becomes. So right now I'm getting like maybe 150 to 200 each order, which is pretty expensive. So when I get to a stage where I feel as though that I'm able to do bulk orders and the price would drop, and to be honest with you, I'm happy to just give it for free. I'm happy to give it for free. And at this point, that's my mindset. You know, if I go home, it's not about making the money. It's about people being proud of what they wear and people relating to it as well. It's about that connection to yourself and who you are. Identity is key everywhere you go. Because if you have a good sense of identity, in every space that you are, you always be your authentic self. And being in an environment where you feel as though that sometimes there's those frictions within society, you can feel like you have to shed a lot to be yourself, you know. But that's not the case, and it takes time for you to reflect within yourself and to really know who you are. And I guess and I guess Jirtu Wear could be that point of research or interest for them to learn about themselves. Like there's a lot of people who are born in the diaspora who speak the Oromo language as well, and this could be like Jirtu is the language that their mothers speak, but they don't really connect to it. And people in the diaspora are stuck in between two cultures. At home you live in a certain way, but and when you're in the society you live in a certain way as well. So how do you which part takes what's the word, president, or which part takes over, or how do you balance between the two worlds, you know? And I want Jirtu Wear to be the conversation starter of those topics and those interesting interesting journeys and paths in life.
And can I ask, how do you think Jirtu Wear has changed you as a person? Do you think it's changed you at all, and if so, how?
Jirtu Wear as a person, I think the biggest thing that's changed me is having kids, and having kids. You're no longer looking after yourself. Your whole energy is invested in your kids, and I think thinking about my kids and thinking about Jirtu Wear has really ensured that, okay, how do I set my kids up for the future? How do I do something that is that would give back to the community as well as my family, you know? That's, if I can say, that's how Jirtu Wear has shaped my thought and the process in coming up with Jirtu Wear. Also like there's like
especially in the clothing business as well, there's like a growing concern for like environmentally or like you know, sustainably sourced material sort of thing.
Absolutely.
Would you say like Jirtu like source their raw materials like sustainably in terms of that?
Look, I could sit here and lie to you, but I don't quite sure. I'm not sure exactly where they get the material from.
Yeah.
So I can't say that we're sourcing things out that way. And I guess when you really think about it, it's about me. I'm a beginner in this field, and I'm trying to understand how things work here as well.
Yeah.
So I'm not at that stage where I am, you know, checking out with my suppliers, seeing where do you get your material from and whatnot. Yeah.
Awesome. But thank you so much for sharing. And thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for bringing the energy and the honesty. We loved it. And we loved having you in the studio today. Thank you to our amazing listeners for listening to this episode. Have a good night. And you're listening to Wellington Access Radio 106.1 FM. Follow us on all social medias. And thank you.
Cheers. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, awesome.